I was so proud of James when I heard that he was nominated for Volunteer of the Year by his employees. It's one thing to be recognized by peers or by management and leadership, but the fact that the housekeeping and EVS team actually came together and recognized his significant contributions to the community and the company is the highest compliment he could ever hope for. I'm so proud of him.
One of the ways that we try to really drive volunteerism here at the property is to find department leaders who can be a champion for these types of causes or these events. That way, rather than it being human resources out there trying to elicit the support of employees, that we have people who they know and they work with every day who show them their passion, and that just tends to rub off on the employees. So that's what's so great about James Healey, is that he's so passionate about so many of these efforts that not only does he drive great participation within his own departments, but he actually raises the bar and stokes that competitive spirit with his other departments.
If I had to name one person that is willing and capable of making that change out in the world, it would be James Healey.
He has this uncanny ability to get people just off the street to come and volunteer. You know, you don't know, you coming into this meeting not knowing exactly what's going to happen, and the next thing you know, you signed up for 48 hours of volunteering with James.
James inspires all of us to volunteer here at New York, New York with the Blood Drive, the Voice Foundation, the Adoptive Family.
James is such a great example of what we encourage all of our diversity champions to do, and that's to give of yourself, your time, your talents, for those kinds of organizations that you're most passionate about. He's a true inspiration, and I think encourages a lot of champions to do the same.
James is a big part of the local chapter of the HRC. He's been involved in that for many years, and he's also currently the vice president of the local chapter of Pride.
Right now he's head of our steering committee for HRC Las Vegas, so he's basically co-chairing a board of almost 20 people, local volunteer leaders, and then any number of things that he's doing nationally and locally with our organization, Human Rights Campaign.
I also think James has a great credibility with employees when he invites them to participate in these events, because they know that he's genuine and sincere about it. They genuinely know that he'll be one of the first people to sign up for it himself, and they usually know he'll be probably one of the last people to leave, that when he participates in these events, he really goes all in.
Oh, James is a good friend to me, and he's a wonderful guy.
James is full of energy, passion. He's a great leader, an educator. I've learned a lot from him.
He jokes around a lot, you know, and they like that. He's always smiling. He always says good morning, good afternoon if he sees all his employees. So he's very friendly, very nice. So
James is a great humanitarian and help the people and communication with everybody else.
He's a wonderful boss, great inspiration to all 3 departments that he's involved with.
James is a great community leader and brings that enthusiasm back to New York, New York.
I think no matter who you would speak to, they would say that James is passionate, that he is caring, and that he has the community's minds and interests and in his mind at all times.
I mean, it doesn't matter where you go in this town, you seem to see James. He's volunteering at every gay pride festival. I mean, he's out there washing cars. He does the housekeeping Olympics. I mean, just everything. He's everywhere. And I think that he aspires to being the best volunteer he can be. And I mean, if anybody deserves this award, he does.
When James leaves his normal job, whether, how many hours that is, 10, 11 hours a day, he then goes and puts in another 7, 8, 9 hours at different festivities that are going on. So it's a lot of work, and sometimes you don't really get appreciated the way you should, because again, it is a volunteer and you do it because you want to, not because you expect that recognition.
If you need help with something, he's always there. He is helping out in so many ways in the community, with HRC, with other organizations, sometimes to the point where he's getting pulled in a million different directions at once.
You can tell when James comes into a room, he would light up the room. If the room is dull and dreary, James Healey will walk in that room and it's like the bright lights turn on. He's funny, he's always entertaining, and he is a kind individual.
James is a hoot. I mean, he'll make you laugh, if you're coming in a bad mood, he can get you up and, just grinning again. And he's really a people person, he just makes you want to be around him.
He's very inclusive, and yeah, He constantly brings smiles to people's days. He makes you feel part of the solution, and nothing is too big for him to handle. He's the first one to stand up and say, I'll take that, I'll do that, I'll help a fellow colleague out. He's compassionate and he's caring in all that he does.
He's great. He's a wonderful man, and I have a lot of respect for him. And what I like about him is that anything that we need to talk to him about, his doors are always open. He always tells us, you're more than welcome anytime to come and talk to me. Any problems that you have, you know, I will try to help you as much as I can. And that's what I like about him.
Never ask James a question that you do not want an honest answer for, because he'll be straightforward and tell you, doesn't shoot from the hip, doesn't lie, just come straight out.
He's very, very consistent in his willingness to serve for the greater good of the whole community. It's very commendable, and all the while, he manages the largest department here at the property, and he does it flawlessly. It's very impressive, it's inspirational, and it's admirable. I'm so proud of him.
He deserves it. He deserves it a lot, though. He does a lot for us. He does a lot for the company, and I feel that, you know, he does really deserve that.
I also want to thank James for his support and dedication with our own Liberty Torch events and initiatives here at the property. He's encouraged so many to come forward and volunteer of their time and their talents, and for that I'm truly appreciative.
I think James is completely deserving of a Volunteer of the Year award. He, as I mentioned before, he steps up and will help anyone with anything that has to do with volunteering or helping out in the community.
His passion and enthusiasm is really extraordinary, and it really doesn't matter what type of event we're working on, we can count on him.
It's easy to sit up and take notice, but it's difficult to stand up and take action. And for James, he's constantly standing up and taking action and standing up for what he feels is right, and his involvement in the community is huge.
I honestly think that, you know, it's in our blood, and I think this is a huge accomplishment for him. Not that he needs it, or not that it's not why we do it. We do it because of our community, the passion we have for our community, and people who are less fortunate than us. And we all like to give back, and James likes to give back 110%.
I can't think of an individual more deserving for the Volunteer of the Year award than our very own James Healey. Thank you so much, James. We love you and we appreciate you.
Thank you, James. Thank you so much.
Thank you, James. I love you.
Thank you, James, for all that you do.
Thank you so much, James, for everything that you've done for me and for New York, New York.
James, congratulations and thank you on a great job.
Thank you.
Thank you, James.
Thank you, James. Thank you for all that you do. You really make a difference in people's lives.
Thank you, Mr. Healey.
James, I truly thank you.
James, congratulations and thank you for all you do. You're my hero.
James, thank you for being a great friend. Thank you for doing everything you do in our community, and I love you.
On behalf of everyone at New York, New York, James, thank you.